Welcome back, everybody. I believe we're meeting up with somebody here with the Radiant Host Soldier, so let's go ahead and see who is waiting for us. Access to the Aetheryte you see there has been restricted to a select few ever since the tower first appeared. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, but it was deemed too dangerous to permit the free movement of visitors at a time of emergency, a risk we could not take. In light of recent developments, however, the Satrap has decided that such restrictions will only hinder our efforts to combat the final days. As such, I would encourage you to attune with the Aetheryte before proceeding along the corridor. Well, that works out for us. We can finally use this Aetheryte if we wish. Quite happy for that, actually. Do we head up here, or...? No, we head downstairs, okay. Do we have the shard? Let's take a look. Nope, we didn't, so nice to have it now. Yeah, we have them all. Nice. Now you must be wondering what this place is. You stand in the hall of the Radiant Host, from where our leadership oversees all of Radza Han's military operations. Sundrop, our destination, lies just ahead. Alright. Welcome to Sundrop. Without further ado, allow me to introduce you to... Oh, so you're the famous Narn Scorchdust, eh? I knew it was the moment you stepped through the door. You had the look of one who's walked through hell. Shirabat, please, you're speaking to the Satrap's honored guest and the savior of our people. Can you not show a minimum of respect? What disrespect is there in paying a fellow warrior a compliment? We're all friends here, soon enough to be. More formally then, for the benefit of my countrymen, it is a pleasure to have you with us, O great champion of Eorzea. Scion of the Seven Dawn, warrior of light, all-around good egg, I'm sure. Who are you? Full of too many scars and knees that ache in the winter. My name is Shirabat. I attended business here. As to what sort of business, how can I put it? Radza Han welcomes delegates from other lands to oversee trade and diplomatic dealings. Then there are military matters discussed, which is why all these officers are stationed here at Sundrop. Imagine you're more than familiar with each of the nations they represent, yes? We got representatives from Doma. Udal and Alamigo. Limsa and Lamosa. Brindania. And last but never least, Ishgard. They're the ears, eyes, and mouths that bridge the distance between Radza Han and their respective homelands. We use this brief respite to share the details of our plight with our overseas counterparts. And when you know it, all the leaders request a few words from you specifically. You're a woman in high demand, eh? And so, would you mind regaling us of your own account? Indulge us before you indulge yourself. I thank you for the report. The conditions under which men are turned to beasts, the Aetheryte anomalies you've deserved, have given us much to consider. It's concerning that the first transformation apparently occurred before the skies turned red. It's contrary to what one would expect. Thankfully, the information you conveyed to Lucia upon your return from the moon has already been proved invaluable. As soon as reports of calamity here in Thavnir reached the Grand Company of Eorzea and our Far Eastern allies, our leaders knew at once that the final days were indeed upon us. They began taking steps to assess the extent of the phenomenon's spread. Our agents were able to confirm that, for the time being, the skies burnt only over the bounty, including this island in Corvos. Last that is of little comfort. Aye, all throughout Allied lands there have been reports of people transforming into hideous beasts. From what little we have learned, these incidents are similar in nature to those involving the merchant Kazal. As was the case here, the victims underwent a change prior to the heavens being set ablaze. And so while the burning skies have yet to manifest beyond the bounty, the transformations do not appear to be subject to any similar restriction. If anyone anywhere overcome by despair can turn, then nowhere is safe. That's what the size of it. Speaking of which, we ought to give these creatures a name, don't you think? Here at Razahan, we've been calling the first to change, which tend to be the biggest blasphemies. Fitting a name as any, to ensure clarity in future communications, we shall urge our comrades to adopt this terminology. The leaders have taken measures to deal with the threat to the best of our abilities. Aye, each nation has assembled their own groups of elite soldiers to put down these so-called blasphemies, in their spawn as well as when they appear. At the same time, they're doing all in their power to put people's minds at ease, to prevent panic and fear from spreading. That said, brave souls, but the strength and fortitude to fell these terrible fiends are not easily found. Just so, and it's for that very reason we turn to you. Pray lend us your strength and help us to slay the blasphemies that plague our homelands. No, you don't have to get your reply before dinner. I should also mention that each blasphemy seems to possess widely different characteristics. What works well against one may serve you poorly against another. So before you go rushing off to save everyone's day, have a word with the delegates. They'll tell you what to expect. With that, I do believe our friend here has a feast to attend. Spare a thought for us while you're checking in all that fine cuisine, eh? Oh, roll quest, okay. One of these, no doubt, is a tank one. Looks like it's the one with the Grindani, okay. That's an interesting choice. Pray forgive Shabbat her rudeness. She can be a bit boisterous at times, but it is simply your nature. Anyway, my apologies for keeping you from your hard-earned rest. You will be rejoining your companions, yes? Do you know the way to the Mehane? I know Razahan like the back of my hand. Glad to hear you're becoming familiar for a fair city. You'll be pleased to hear that all the drinks are in the house, so order whatever suits your fancy. With that, I must return to my post. On behalf of all the Radiant hosts, I thank you and your friends once more for lending your strength and courage to Razahan in our time of need. We shall endeavor to fight the good fight to the end. And we might honor Awan's legacy and serve Master Vitra well. And may word that your efforts will not be in vain. See here. Just use the shard, yep. Welcome. When the satrap asked to entertain a party of honored guests, I was wondering who it might be. This is a lovely surprise, to say the least. By the way, I heard all about Kazal from your friend Grahatia. I understand there was something that could be done, but I was heartened to hear he meant us no harm. Can't thank you enough for dispatching the beast. As a smallest token of their thanks, your food and drink to Marhide's treat. Speaking of which, what shall I start you off with? Piping hot mug of chai, why not? As you wish, pray join your friends, I'll bring you a drink. Welcome back. Whatever did the Radiant want with you, pray tell? Allies have sent military delegates. That's news to me. I'm ensuring the details.
So blasphemies now plague all the realm.
It will only get worse if what Father said is true, as it did in Amarot.
If that's our model, then shouldn't we expect the effects to grow more severe as it feeds off its own spread? As if people transforming into those monstrosities wasn't bad enough. If the flora and fauna, if the land itself turned against us.
No one would survive.
Here's your order, friend. May you find comfort in these dark times.
Where do we go from here? If there's one thing we've learned, fighting blindly and simply reacting to what comes will accomplish nothing. We must find a solution that addresses the fundamental cause. Before our strength is exhausted, before this crisis spirals out of control. Is there something, anything we've overlooked?
If there is an answer, Hydaelyn herself will have it. 'Twas she who bound Zodiac and forestalled the final days. Alas, we have heard naught from her since the Tower of Babel. Whether she cannot or will not speak, I can only speculate. Even the flower she gave us is no more. So advised the Watcher. But what could be the significance of that name? It is entirely unfamiliar to me.
To me as well. It meant something to the ancients, though. In our time.
Most surely. Yet I do not recall a single mention of it in the records of Anida.
Another dead end. And quite literally. It's not as if there are any ancients living we could go and ask.
Not alive as such, but not quite dead. Elidibus. I sealed him in the White Horus site of the Crystal Tower back on the first. Contained within that reservoir of ether that maintains it, ether that is returned little by little to the sea. Naught may remain of his soul. However, if part of it lingers, we might be able to speak with him there. I know we can no longer make that journey, but you, my friend, still can.
Be an opportunity looking on the others as well.
Thank you, my friend. That would mean much to me.
If nothing else, should we learn the first is safe, we'll have that much more reason to keep fighting the good fight. That said, the odds are not in our favor, to say the least. Which is why we're fortunate to have Urianger up there on the moon, working hard to make all the necessary preparations for our departure, should it come to it.
And why we have nothing to lose by staying the course till the last instant.
Indeed. To the last, let us all do what we can. I will consult with Master Matoya and see if she knows of a way to reach Hydaelyn from the ethereal sea.
And I will visit the nation's leaders and attempt to ascertain how far the final days have progressed elsewhere.
Keep me abreast of your findings. I can seek out and slay the worst of the immediate threats, if only to slow the spread.
Unease, terror, despair. Try as we might to suppress them, these emotions will return to harry us time and time again. But when they do, remember this. Your friends and loved ones are out there somewhere, sharing in your struggle. You are not alone.
So ends the brief respite before the next revelation. Yes, so much left for you to see. Where beginning ends, and end begins.
Well, that's pretty ominous, isn't it? Now then, is there anything we've forgotten to mention? Are your arms and armor in good order? In that case, it's time we attend to our tasks, and when you arrive on the first, give my regards to Reen. Tell her I miss her. Take this, Nar, my spirit vessel. Empty now, of course, but should allow you to operate the tower systems in the Umbilicus. Even the smallest fragment of Ilibus's essence remains, it should be possible to locate it. As for access to the Umbilicus, please seek out Lena for assistance. Chances are she still stands watch at the Ascensor Gate. Should she or anyone else ask after me, tell them I am living my life to the fullest, that I am happy, hardships and all. We'll only best be on our respective ways. God's willing, we'll see each other again ere long. Turn to the Crystorium. Level 86, so let's go ahead and switch out our menu now, since we have two of them that we're able to have appropriately for this, and I do believe we have... what do we have at the moment? We have Polym, so we're gonna get Forum then. They'll hang out with us for the rest of the expansion, I guess, because we've got the other half of it to do at this point. I guess I just teleport back there at this point. Curious that they would actually have us go back here for this expansion. Got a full-on thunderstorm going on here, I guess. Yeah, it's very murky here with the thunderstorm and it being night as well. Yeah, the gate's not too far from here at least. Narn, you've returned. Have you been well, you and the others? As well as can be. Look, I may hear that. I trust my lord is enjoying himself. He said this to you, those exact words. Oh, to know that he's happy, it fills my heart with joy. Thank you, Narin, for taking care of him. When next you see him, please tell him not to overexert himself. Futile request though that is. And tell him that all is well here. The peace you give to us continues, and we work hard to build new lives for ourselves. In the course of this, we occasionally bicker, but we've never been more optimistic for the morrow. If I had to mention one dilemma, it would be the question of our governments. Even as we speak, debate rages on how we should run the city in the Azarch's absence. Most are of mind that the Settlement Council should continue to oversee the general running of the Crystarium, while representatives are elected to determine policy and handle diplomacy. Thus far, nothing is set in stone, but however we choose to proceed, we will not replace our lord. No one could. Have we recently observed any unusual phenomena? No, I cannot say there have been. Curious that you asked me this question, though. Some days ago, Rain came and asked the very same. She was rather unsettled, in stark contrast to how cheerful she had been of late. She and the other Crystarium youths have just hosted a festival, you see. It proves so possible that there are already plans for another celebration, one much bigger than the first. Between her preparations for the festival and restoring the empty, she struck me as happy and full of life. So when I saw her in a state of such worry, I couldn't help but feel worried in turn, especially since she wouldn't tell me what troubled her. Dare say she would be more willing to confide in you. May I ask you to broach the subject with her? You wish to enter the Imbilgus? Very well, I shall fetch the key at once, and take the opportunity to find Rain. Please wait for me in the city, in front of the Cabinet of Curiosity, shall we say. I'll be along as soon as I can. Very well. I actually forgot I could fly here. I'm so used to not being able to fly lately. And then I lose my mount, unfortunately, but you know. We need to hit up the Cabinet of Curiosity, so... Alright, seems like something's gonna happen. So let's see how this goes. Do my old eyes deceive? Is that truly Narin? Yeah, it is. Well, glad am I to see you hale and whole, my friend. What a wonderful surprise it is to have you back with us, and at this most opportune time. In case you haven't heard, we are planning to produce a tome chronicling events from the Flood to the Knight's Return. This project we intend to draw upon records kept by the world's peoples. Historical and commentary first-hand accounts would be the centerpiece of the tome, but yours would be the one to crown them all. I've been asked to contribute a chapter on the soul, a subject that is key to understanding much of your endeavors. Of course, in developing the spirit vessel, I gained valuable insights into travel beyond the rift. Knowledge allowed me to attest to your assistance and deeds. There is no end to the questions I would ask you, but if you can indulge me just for one for now. In your quest to restore the night, you face many a formidable foe. Among them, who offer you the greatest struggle? Honestly, out of these three, I would actually say Valkyrie. Valkyrie's boss battle is actually probably the hardest one out of the lot, so I guess I'll go with his. Oh yes, Lord Valkyrie, former leader of Ilmor and the final Light Warden you cast down. Building his paradise on Mount Golg, he proclaimed his existence accurate and took on the name Innocence. Your reckoning with him was without a doubt a defining moment in history, and we will see that it features prominently in the tome. I know you'd love to talk our ear off more, but we really should be on our way. These documents from Ilmor won't collect themselves. Of course, and afterwards, would you care to join me for tea? I was hoping you might clarify a few points in your treatise. Till next time, then, do tell the others to look after themselves. Or Urvazol's friend in particular, remind him not to overexert himself. Again and again till his ears fall off, if that's what it takes for him to take it to heart. Oh my, is that the Way of Darkness? Sir, it's really her. What are you doing here? Going to battle, I can give you some medicine. I made it myself. That's not, Ricky. You'd only give her a stomachache. We've come to see more and get his advice. One of the guard finally agreed to teach us how to fight, but first we need to choose a fighting style. Well, I know that I want to be a mage. Arkell isn't sure. Magic isn't really my thing, so I was thinking of taking the axe, or the sword, or maybe the bow. Well, those seem alright, but it's hard to decide, so I thought I'd ask more. He knows a lot about things. He isn't here. Aw. Oh, why don't you have the Warrior of Darkness choose for you? What do you think suits Arkell best? Axe, sword, or bow? For fighting and hunting both, the bow. The bow, if you took up the bow, it could be just like... Render away, the Warrior of Light. I love that tale, let's borrow the book today. It's really popular though, I hope it's still there. Thanks for helping me decide, Warrior of Darkness. I'll start with that style and maybe try something else later on. When I get really strong, I'll have a bout with you. Such fun she's been having basking in the adoration of musty old bookworms and wide-eyed younglings. Does she spare a thought for me? Of course not. I waited and waited, but she won't so much as acknowledge my presence of her beautiful branch, even though they're right here. Such a heartless thing our sapling is. Cruel, cold and cruel and heartless. Oh, faithful you, loveliest branches, how I've missed you. If you truly miss me, you should have cried for me at the top of your lungs the instant you arrived. To make up for it, you will call with twice the passion next time, though for there to be a next time, you'd have some huge struggles to overcome. So, my adorable sapling, the world is on the verge of destruction, is it? How do I know this? I joined as we are, spying on you as simple as sliding down the back of a rainbow. Would that could aid you in your quest, but the fate of we Fae folk is bound to that of the star. Where there goes, so too do we follow, such is our way. What else I could do for you is spare you the pain by giving you the sweetest of eternal dreams. If escape's not to your liking, then you must struggle with your fellow mortals. But here are the ones you were waiting for. I wonder, what manner of conclusion awaits at tale's end? My apologies for the delay. No, it's so wonderful to see you again. You doubtless have much catching up to do, so I shall leave you to it. I'm taking the liberty of unlocking the umbilicus, and you may enter at your leisure. Alright, we got Reen back. I'm relieved to hear that everyone is well. I had this feeling like the pit in my stomach, and I was afraid that something might have happened. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but it's just that... I'm the Oracle of Light, but I've never spoken of Heidelin. Not once have I heard her call. Even so, I've always had this feeling deep inside me, a connection to something immense. These past few days, though, that connection has wavered. As if that immense something was distant, then close, then distant again. And then the other night, I was jolted awake by the feeling it had been completely severed. Wanting some fresh air, I went to open the window, and to my horror, the sky was ablaze, like during the star shower. But then I blinked, and everything was normal. The next day, no one said a thing. No one else had seen what I'd seen. As far as I could tell, nothing was out of the ordinary. I began to wonder if it was just a figment of a half-remembered dream. Norrin, what are you not telling me? I have to know, please. It doesn't matter how terrible it is. Was my imagination, then? The doom we witnessed in Amurite has come again. I can't believe it. Like I told you before, all is well in the first. So don't worry about us, please. Look only to the threat before you. We're fine right now, and even if we weren't, we've learned how to survive. Should the final days reach us here as well, you must be sure we won't go quietly. No, we'll hold on until you can find a way to save all of our worlds. As long as you continue your fight, so too will we, and unite in a purpose beneath a blazing sky. Well, that's nice to hear, at least. But I guess in a way it kind of echoed out towards here, but I guess only people that be Warrior of Lights may have noticed it. Or people connected with the light in any case. There we go. You head to the umbilicus to consult with Ildis, right? I'll do some consulting of my own and speak with Lena. Decide how we might best prepare for the final days. So it's farewell for now, but we'll see each other again, I'm certain of it. Let's see here. Yep, okay. Also gate. I kind of suspect this might be a good stopping point, because we're probably about to get into a pretty big thing here, I imagine, of Ildis, so... Perhaps we'll just go ahead and end the video here, and the next one will start off fresh and be able to probably deal with a bunch of cutscenes, so let's go ahead and do that.